I made some videos days back where I talked about developer documentation, tooling in the age of AI, and about how you can add a very simple, tiny feature that just makes it easier for people to use your products with AI. And since then, I've seen some really good examples of people that actually do this. If you go to the Docker documentation, you would see this new option here, and if you select it, you would see an option to copy page as Markdown for LLMs. And then if you go to the Stripe documentation, you would also see this new option here where you see copy page, and if you select it, you would see an option to copy page as Markdown, view as Markdown, and open in ChatGPT. These are all tiny things that just make it easier for someone to just copy this and paste it in Cursor or whatever, and boom, they can now use your product with an AI agent simply. But that's not what this video is about. There's now a new proposal to make this even better, the LLMS.txt. This is a proposal to standardize the LLMS.txt file to provide information to large language models on how to use a website at inference time. Means when an LLM is being used in real time. When you're chatting with ChatGPT and it tries to understand or summarize a website you've linked, inference time right there, right now. So why is this important? Why does this matter? Why is this necessary? Large language models rely on website information, but there's a critical limitation to that. There's a context windows price to pay, and it's so small that most websites cannot fit into that in all their entirety. So to convert complex HTML pages with navigation, ads, JavaScript into something that a large language model will find really good to use is difficult and imprecise. This is important for cases like development where models need access to programming documentation and APIs. So what's the proposal? We are proposing the LLMS.txt Markdown file to websites to provide model-friendly content. This file will contain brief background information, guidance, and links to detailed Markdown files. This should not be strange if you've been building websites or products. You might know something called the robot.txt, which is how web crawlers should actually handle things when they come to your website, or the sitemap.xml. But now there's a new standard and a new proposal to have something called the LLMS.txt that sits there, but this time it's for agents. The file can also reference structured data markup used on the site. The LLMS.txt would be used on demand when a user explicitly request information about a topic. So when you're trying to get into a documentation, or when you're asking chatbot for something like the search, and if you go to Google and you type LLMS.txt Stripe, you would see this new link from Stripe, docs.stripe.com LLMS.txt. This is Stripe adopting the proposal. When you open it, you see a Markdown. It looks like written document with some particular things that are needed to be there. There's some recommended things to follow. It's also in the proposal. I will leave a link that you can go through. But this is a whole lot of text, but without any of the extra complicated things that you would find in an HTML structure. Now, an AI could use this, whether inside Cursor or whatever, to provide a response to the request you've made. Chakra is also adopting the standard. This is the creator of Chakra. The Chakra docs are more AI friendly. With a new LLMs.txt format, you can write the entire Chakra docs into Cursor or GitHub Copilot and get accurate code based on Chakra v3. Let's see, there's a video that was attached. I think I opened that previously. This is Cursor, and they selected the new docs, pasted the chakraui.com LLMs.txt, and then it went ahead to index the docs. It now has context on those things. One simple file available on your URL. Let's use that to generate and see. And then now it can use that to design a controlled dialogue, and it uses the context from provided by the actual team to work on that. Okay, so let's talk about how you can create your own LLMs.txt file. You can actually go create it, but if you want a tool that actually makes it easy to use, check out this tool by Firecrawl, LLMS.txt generator. Paste in the URL. So for example, I can say 21st.dev. There's an option to use the full version of the TXT, but that will require that I sign in and provide an API key. I won't be doing that, but I can just easily generate, and that is going to go script the size and create a document that is the LLMS.txt file. You can see it scripting the site down here. There are some things to note while creating this. You should try to use concise and clear language while creating your LLMS.txt file. Link to resources. Don't use terms that are crazy. Then also test what you've created. So if you're looking for where you can find LLMs.txt file, you can check out the LLMs.txt directory. This is something put together by Sizeman, one by Dob, Pinata. And if you feel like it, you can also submit your own TXT file where people can find it and use it in their own project.